somebody else caught that. Yeah, I guess that solar cycle, I guess it's going to peak out sometime next summer or something like that, from what I read. So we got a lot of time to look forward to those upper bands there. With that, back to you there, Keith. KBPRK.
Fine business there, Ted. Yeah, I heard that same thing too. They're peaking out a little bit sooner than they thought. I heard someone say, "This is Kilo Echo 8 Yankee X-Ray Echo for the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club. Anyone else out there like to check in tonight?" All right, I take it there's not. One more time on the announcement reminder. I have one myself. If you look me up on QRZ, my home call, Kilo Alpha 8 Bravo Sierra Alpha, you can get my address and run by and check out the Christmas lights, all synced up to music and such. That's why I haven't been getting on the radio lately. Takes up a little bit of the time. With that, N80QP, would you like to go through the announcements again?
Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, just the Christmas party at Wing Warehouse on Wyogga Lake Road tomorrow, 6 o'clock. We're going to start gathering about 6, probably eat about 6:30. Should be a fair amount of people there. I've talked to quite a few that said they plan to attend, so I'm looking at probably 10 to 15 people anyway. Decent amount, and for not bad for what we started here. So I hope to see you all there, and I think that's it. Back to Ned.
Awesome. I hope. All right, and hearing none, and preparing to close this net, I would like to thank you all for, as I muddle through this, and those that took the time to join us in checking in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This is Keith, Kilo Echo 8, Kilo Alpha 8 Bravo Sierra Alpha. It's been my pleasure to host this evening's net, and at this time I will close the net with 8 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Kilo Echo 8 Yankee X-Ray Echo. Closing the net at 7:13 local time, 7:3.
Good job, Keith. Very good job. We'll talk. And it'll keep you. Don't worry about the jitters, man. It happens to everybody. Hey, don't keep it.
Oh, I wasn't worried about the jitters. I was just tripping over my words.
That happens to everybody.
Be doing it backwards and blindfolded.
While standing on your head.
If you want to do a net, I'll throw you into a Skywarn net. That'll teach you.
You know what? I'm busy that day.
Well, you got the voice for it anyway. You could command it.
Yeah, I got the voice for radio, huh?
I didn't go there. I thought about it, but I didn't go there.
Okay. I started just for the heck of it. I started using NetLogger for this, and your information did not come up there, Pat.
They probably got ticked off at me for every time I've called them.
You never know. You haven't gotten the letter in the mail that says you lost your license.
No, not yet. There is one thing I want to throw in there. Maybe we'll do that next week. I want to throw a trivia not really a trivia question. Just what do you think about this kind of question? Like, I think we could have probably used what kind of Christmas tree are you putting up? A, real one. B, fake one. C, none at all. Or D, I don't care about Christmas.
Nora.
What's that, Bill?
Well, you can't say I don't care about Christmas.
Somebody was in the background there. Was that you, Bill? Guess not. But, yeah, we'll have to throw that in for next week. I think that would be an interesting interesting thing to do with this net. You know, it'd be different than most everybody else is doing. Just a kind of a what do you think about this?
Interesting. Yeah, since we had kids, we quit getting live trees. My wife has a big Hallmark collection, ornament collection, and I hate for one to get left on a real tree and not realize it once it got outside, be picked up or something.
I can believe that. I wouldn't want that to happen either. I don't, those kind of things are for display. The kind of bulbs I put on are Cleveland Browns and Cavaliers and Indians. But that's just the way some of us do it, I guess.
You can't say that, well, yeah, you could say that, but I love the smell of the fresh tree in the house, though.
To be honest about it, I've never done that. My sister-in-law has. We used to go over, when she had her house over there in Northampton, we used to go over there all the time, and she loved real trees. It was different, but I don't know if I'd want to do it. I'd be afraid of the fire hazard and everything else.
Well, Pat, it's time to upgrade and throw away those candles and use electric lights on them.
Yeah, I know. They keep telling me that, and I just try to play Amish.
String your popcorn and put it on the tree.
Popcorn and paper loops. I used to do those paper loop chains when you were out of construction paper when you were a kid. Yeah, that's my Christmas tree.
All right. This is KAABSA. I'm going to jump out of here, go upstairs, and try to make some magic on the stove.
All right, Keith. Thanks for doing it for us. We do appreciate it. We'll talk and hopefully see you tomorrow night. If not, hopefully see you Sunday. We will talk to you later on. 7-3 and 80QP.
7-3 all who are listening, scanner listeners and such. This is Keith, KAABSA 7-3.
W8WKY.
Amateur radio newsline will start in 5 minutes.
Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2406 with the release date of Friday, December 8th, 2023, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. HAMSI releases its first solar eclipse findings. AMSAT Canada arrives on the satellite scene, and meet Newsline's international newsmaker for 2023. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2406 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Our top story this week comes to us from the citizen science effort known as HAMSI. It's groundbreaking ionospheric research during the October 14th annual solar eclipse has already begun to yield the first of many new insights. Patrick Clark, K8TAC, brings us the details.
If you participated in the solar eclipse QSO party this past autumn, yours is among the 300 logs that are helping yield data for the HAMSI team led by Nathaniel Fizal, W2NAF. The QSO party helped flesh out the overall picture, along with data collection from more than 7 million spots on the air and a variety of experiments to study the solar eclipse's effects on the ionosphere. As HAMSI prepares for another QSO party and more observations during the total solar eclipse over North America on April the 8th, the team has released its earliest findings from October. The detailed technical document contains a variety of charts and graphic elements that expand on these observations. Please visit our website, arnewsline.org, and click on the tab that says Extra. You will find the full illustrated document there HAMSI provided to Newsline. This is Patrick Clark, K8TAC.
The FCC has issued warnings to landowners for what the agency says is their support of radio piracy in Boston. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has that story.
In the U.S., landowners in Boston, Massachusetts have received 9 warnings and the threat of more than $2 million in fines from the Federal Communications Commission for permitting illegal radio broadcasts on their premises. This is the latest action taken on December 1st to be taken under the 3-year-old Pirate Act, which stands for Preventing Illegal Radio Abuse Through Enforcement. The act gives the FCC the power to impose fines of up to $2 million if the broadcasts continue. The agency also has the power to seize equipment. As a number of media outlets, including RadioWorld.com, have reported, the FCC has no further ability to act against the illegal stations and has no responsibility for collecting the actual fines. This is the purview of the U.S. Department of Justice, which is also responsible for fines imposed in the cases of violent crimes and drug cases. In a November 24th story on Radio World's website, an FCC representative said, quote, "We do not release non-public information about our ongoing investigations, which include whether a forfeiture is paid or not," end quote. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Canada has taken an important first formal step towards supporting and developing the growth of amateur radio in space through the incorporation of a non-profit membership-based organization, AMSAT-CA. AMSAT-CA's first venture will be a European and Canadian geosynchronous amateur radio satellite over the North Atlantic, a future venture proposed by the European Space Agency. A technical group is being assembled to present a Canadian position paper for the project. AMSAT-CA's website is still under development, but visitors to AMSAT.ca can view a video from Frank Zeppenfeld, PD0AP, of the ESA at the AMSAT-UK colloquium, describing the geostationary microwave amateur payload proposal. Congratulations to all the men and women in space and all the students and educators who have connected with them over the years. In November, amateur radio communications between space and the Earth marked its 40th year. These dialogues began in 1983 with the program known as the Shuttle Amateur Radio Experiment, or SAREX. SAREX was replaced in the year 2000 by amateur radio on the International Space Station. According to NASA, these high-flying QSOs have touched people in 49 U.S. states, 63 nations, and every continent, drawing a participation of more than 1 million students, opening up the world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to them. Hams in Ireland, who are seeking their harmonized amateur radio examination certificate, have a new resource to turn to, as Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us.
The Irish Radio Transmitter Society has published its newest study guide for the Irish HAREC exam syllabus, covering technology regulations and radio theory. The free 400-page guide is available as a downloadable PDF and is considered to be comprehensive with more than 450 footnotes to assist with learning. Even hams who already have the license may find the publication useful in helping to update their knowledge of antenna safety or SDR technology. The guide is designed for those who prefer self-study, but it's also compatible with use in classroom lessons. The IRTS expressed its thanks to Rafal, EI6LA, and members of the National Shortwave Listeners Club, among the many other authors. To download the 25-megabyte file, see the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org.
Hams need to be effective communicators, not just with other hams, but often with their neighbors. The ARRL's RF Safety Committee, the Swedish Society of Radio Amateurs, the Radio Society of Great Britain, and the Irish Radio Transmitter Society have developed guidelines to help hams address neighbors' concerns about RF exposure from their stations. The ARRL's chairman of RF Safety Committee, Greg Lappin, N9GL, announced the availability of the guidelines in a downloadable PDF from the website. In making the guidelines available, Greg urged hams to perform exposure assessments for their stations to ensure they comply with the FCC's RF exposure regulations. Find a link to the downloadable PDF in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. Is it lonely at the top for some YLs? Well, maybe that might be true a little bit in SOTA, but one YL in Illinois hopes to get more YLs involved in the awards scheme that has activators hiking and climbing to their destination.
Paula, K9IR, is a proud mountain goat in the SOTA award scheme. 3 years ago, she had a tally of 1,000 points earned from more than 150 summit activations, qualifying her for the award. 2 years later, she achieved her second mountain goat designation. It shows her commitment to traveling to recognized summits, and it shows her effectiveness achieving the required number of contacts to qualify a summit. Writing on the SOTA Reflector, Paula announced recently that a number of events are planned for the coming year that focus specifically on YLs. She is reaching out to YLs who are activating summits now or have an interest in trying it out. She announced that a survey will be going out shortly to find out what events in particular would get more YLs into SOTA, with the hope of re-engaging those YLs who are no longer active or not active yet. As she says on her page on QRZ.com, with its combination of radio operating and outdoor activity, SOTA can be considered a biathlon for geeks. And as we know, the winter biathlon season is just starting. This is Sel Emby, KB3, TZD.
Grants for scholarships, ham radio clubs, and technology classroom teachers are available in excess of $2.1 million as a result of combined funding from the Amateur Radio Digital Communications and the ARRL Foundation. The grant program, which is known as the ARDC Scholarship at the ARRL Foundation, is expected to create more than 200 scholarships during the next 3 years, providing sums of between $5,000 and $25,000 for higher education. The program has supported nearly 100 scholarships since it was created 3 years ago. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the KB9 LPP repeater in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, on Saturdays. The repeater is DMR-enabled on the Brandmeister network. When you get your amateur license, it's been said that you've gotten your ticket. But what does it mean if you receive a golden ticket? Well, one ham in Minnesota has organized a special event station that answers the question. Ken Peterson, KC0DGY, tells us what it's all about.
It's no accident Shane Manzara's vanity call sign is W0NKA. He's a diehard fan of the 1971 movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, in which golden tickets provide 5 children with admission to a place of magic and unending supplies of chocolate. Since then, Shane hasn't lost his taste for chocolate or the storyline. So as Warner Brothers releases the prequel to theaters, Shane and 2 friends, Brian, KB9TBB, and Dan, KD9OIV, are going on the air calling QRZ using SSB and FT8 on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of December. Work them or send a shortwave listener's report. If you include a stamped, self-addressed envelope and a fee to cover the printing costs, you'll be getting a golden ticket, a shiny QSL card that Shane designed to look like the ticket in the original movie. See his page on QRZ.com for details. Best of all, this trio of activators will operate in a park, in addition to their home QTH. So contacts made during the daytime will count towards credit for parks on the air. Of course, daytime contacts will leave you free at night to go and see the movie. Now that's a sweet deal. This is Ken Peterson, KC0DGY.
There is hope for improved radio communication in a region of India that has long been plagued by cyclones. Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, explains.
Authorities in a cyclone-prone region of India are hoping to set up an amateur radio station on a remote island in the Sundarbans region, which is particularly hard hit by cyclones each year. Permanent stations have already been established in 2 area locations, Gangasagar Island and Gosaba. The 3rd area station would be installed on Mosley Island on a trial basis. Disaster management officials told local media that the station could become eligible for permanent status depending on the consistency and quality of radio signals to and from the island. Hams at these stations in the Sundarban Delta would be connecting directly with state administrators during disasters. In mid-November, hams tested propagation on Masuni Island using HF and VHF radios. The West Bengal Radio Club and the Indian Academy of Communication and Disaster Management oversaw the trial operation, which was conducted as a 2-day expedition to the island with a special call sign AT23JCB. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
Do you want to telegraph your support of the World Radio Sport Team Championship, which will be held in England in 2026? Jeremy Boot, G4NJ8, tells us how.
You don't have to be a CW operator to support WRTC 2026, but it helps, especially if you want to become the owner of one of the limited edition paddles designed for the event organizers by Philippe Lobsch, CT1ILT. Each key sold in this limited edition design will have its own unique serial number. Display it in your shack, or better still, use it on the air during the event in July of 2026, as 50 qualifying teams arrive in the UK to represent their home countries in what is viewed as the Olympics of amateur radio. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, the Christmas station PA23XMAS leads a group of stations on the air from the Netherlands until the 31st of December. Certificates will take the place of QSL cards for anyone who works at least 2 of the stations. Other stations operating include PD23 Santa, PH23XMAS, PH23HNY, and PD24HNY. The 2 stations with the HNY suffix will remain on the air until the 24th of January. Shortwave listeners may also send in their reports. See QRZ.com for details. Also in the holiday spirit, members of Radio Club Lira, EA5RCL, based in Valencia, Spain, are on the air as EH5XMAS for the holiday season, ending on the 7th of January. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Be listening as well for the popular 12 Days of Christmas special event from December 14th through the 25th, featuring stations from the U.S. and Canada. If you plan on working stations in Bermuda, be aware that the Radio Society of Bermuda is discontinuing its QSL Bureau service on December 31st, 2024 for the VP9 stations. Service will be phased out during the year ahead. For our final story, we have an awards presentation. The Amateur Radio Newsline International Newsmaker of the Year Award celebrates a clever and creative innovator in this, its 5th year. She is YL Raisa R1BIG/OH7BG. Through social media and various websites, she has given the world a window into what it means to struggle and grow as a ham. Newsline's editor, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, spoke with her.
Congratulations to Raisa Skrinikova, R1BIG, who began in 2018 to channel her enthusiasm and humor to show how a newly licensed ham learns to put up antennas, enter a contest, activate a soda summit, and handle some incredible pileups. Her blogs, live streams, and YouTube videos are a source of information and goodwill. Raisa told Newsline why she decided to put her own story in the spotlight.
To show step by step that it is not very difficult to get and to pass the exam, to make your own equipment. You can also make your antenna yourself and put it and set it up yourself also. And I try to do all these videos and to show that the ham radio hobby is not so difficult, and you can do small and simple steps and go know more and more information. Why I like ham radio hobby? Because every day, every time, you need to learn something new, and this is the best thing, I think.
In 2021, Raisa advocated for greater friendship among the world's hams by taking another bold step. Building on the earlier work of 2 hams, she enlisted help from friends in different countries and assembled an easy-to-use interactive online practice guide offering commonly used QSO phrases in 11 different languages.
It is so nice. You feel a very nice feeling when someone talk a little bit in your language. And I thought, I would like to have to know some phrases in the different languages and to say some good hello, buongiorno, buonasera, and so on for the people and make them a little bit more happy.
Her humor and her relentless optimism about ham radio's future have provided a bright spot by using technology that is guiding the next generation's amateurs.
I think that new technology and internet and social media will not kill the hobby. I think that they will help to the hobby because we can use them for promoting the hobby, make this hobby more popular, and that is exactly what I try to do.
We are proud of this year's International Newsmaker, Raisa, R1BIG. I'm Karen Eve Murray, KD2GT.
A past 2-time Newsmaker Award winner, the West Bengal Radio Club in India, continues their exemplary work combining amateur radio with ongoing humanitarian efforts to reunite families and help save lives. Newsline felt it needed to recognize this club's ongoing work and has awarded ARN's first ever special award to them. Long may they continue their great work. If this holiday season inspires you to feel a little bit like a poet, send us an amateur radio related haiku, and your creation just might be our pick of the week. Visit our website to learn more about the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge, and be sure to follow the rules for writing in correct haiku format. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT Canada, the ARRL, the Central Coast ARC, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, the FCC, 425DX News, HAMSI, the Irish Radio Transmitters Society, KB6NU Blog, the Millennium Post, theprint.com, QRZ.com, Radio World, Shane Manzara, W0NKA, shortwaveradio.de, the Soda Reflector, Wireless Institute of Australia, WRTC 2026, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023. All rights reserved.
W8WKY. Time out.
The Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association hopes you enjoy the weekly broadcast of Amateur Radio Newsline featuring our very own Stefan and HWB, and thank you for listening. Don't go away because our weekly Club Net begins at 8 p.m. We'll have in and out check-ins, regular check-ins. We'll have trivia by our trivia master, W8ELM Eric, and a good time should be had by all. So no club affiliation is needed, and all licensed amateurs are welcome to participate. So with that, for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association, this is Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP. Jerry and Shreve standing by for the net at 8 p.m.
W8WKY.
The weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe, starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ. This is Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee, calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Club Net. We meet here every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time on the W8WKY repeater, which is located in Doylestown, Ohio, and operates on a frequency of 147.39 megahertz, and we use a PL tone of 114.8 hertz. This is an open net, no club affiliation is needed, and all licensed amateurs are encouraged to participate. This is a controlled net, so all traffic should be directed through net control. Emergency or priority traffic may break into this net at any time. At net control this evening is Jerry, that's Juliet, Echo, Romeo, Yankee. My personal call sign is Kilo, Charlie, 8, Hotel, Delta, Papa, KC8, HDP. Yep, that's Jerry and Shreve. But during this net this evening, I will be using the club call of Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee. I'll take a short break to reset the repeater and be back with an announcement. Okay, the only announcement I have this week is that a reminder that there will not be a club meeting this month on December 21st, which would be our normal meeting date, the third Thursday of every month. We had our Christmas party this month, and that took the place of our club meeting. So, with that, I do not have any other club announcements. Are there any stations that have club announcements or anything for the good of the net? Please call now.
WO3X with an announcement.
The net recognizes WO3X. John, good evening. Go ahead with your announcement.
Okay, good news for everybody with a technician license who would like to upgrade to general. The Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club is starting a general license class. It starts on January 14th and goes for 6 Sundays. It starts at 1:30 p.m., ends around 4 p.m., and it is all on Zoom, so anybody in the world can participate. So go to www.cfarc.org, click on the word education, and scroll down a little bit, and on the left side it says club classes, and there is a link to a description of the class and a link to register for the class. So that's my announcement there. Back to the net. This is WO3X.
Well, thank you for that announcement, John. We appreciate that and appreciate all CFARC does for amateur radio and getting people licensed and upgraded. John, would you like to be a regular check-in?
Yeah, I'll be a regular check-in.
Okay, John, I already have you in the log, so no need to check in later. Are there any other stations with net announcements or anything for the good of amateur radio? If so, please call now.
KD8SLG with an announcement.
The net recognizes KD8SLG. Go ahead with your announcement, Nick.
KD8SLG here. I haven't completely cleared it with the executive committee, but as it stands right now, we're planning on linking up to the Santa WatchNet on Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. It'll run until about 10. Last year, we did the Land of Misfit Toys with M1C #1 clause, and that was all set up by Whiskey 7 Alpha Zulu Charlie, Sean, Silent Key. This year we're going to hook up to the Dewdrop In Santa WatchNet, and that's on the Dewdrop In, and that's a club member of ours, N4UPC, kind of runs the Dewdrop In. This will be the 13th year for that. So if you want to get the kids on the radio for Santa WatchNet, New Year's Eve, 6 o'clock, right here on W8WKY. KD8SLG, back to net control. Thanks, Jerry.
Well, thank you for that announcement, Nick. I listened to that last year, and I enjoyed listening to it. So that's cool that you're planning on doing it again this year. And thank you for that announcement, Nick. Would you also like to be a regular check-in?
Oh, Jerry, you know I'm a regular check-in. KD8SLG, thanks.
Well, I was hoping you would be. So anyway, I have you in the log already as a regular check-in, so no need to check in later. Are there any other stations with net announcements or anything for the good of amateur radio? If so, please call. Okay, nothing heard, so we are going to start with our in and out check-ins. If you would like to be an in and out check-in, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Victor Mike Whiskey, Jim in Barberton.
Charlie 8, Delta Echo Oscar, Benny Doylestown, in and out there, Jerry. Have a good evening.
Kilo Echo 8, Juliet November Hotel, Doug and Rippon, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB, Randy and Ribbon. Thanks for running that, Jerry. You do a good job. 73, God bless.
KE8, IME, David Sterling, in and out.
Oh, Tom in Canton, and I'll be in and out this evening.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Kilo Oscar, KE8 QKO, Nick and Akron, in and out. W8DEA, Don, Stark County, in and out.
November Tango 8 Delta, NT8D, Dave and Copley. Please mark me in and out, Jerry. I'll just be listening on the scanner tonight.
Ville KE8, VZA, in and out tonight, 73 all.
Okay, I'll pick it up there. Okay, for the in and outs, I have WB8 VMW Jim, KC8 DEO Benny, KE8 JNH Doug, KE8 TLB Randy, KE8 IME David, KA8 MNT Tom, KE8 QKO Nick, W8 DEA Don, NT8D Dave, and KE8 VZA Eric. Thank you all for checking in with me this evening. Great to hear from you all. Do we have any other in and out check-ins? If so, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Tango Mike, Carry It, Portage Lakes, in and out.
Okay, we added our barometer net closer, W8CTM, Carrie. Good to hear from you. Thank you for checking in with me. Okay, well, we're going to move on to regular check-ins now. So if you'd like to be a regular check-in, make comments, take a shot at Eric's tantalizing trivia question, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Kilo Delta 8 Tango November Foxtrot. My name is Chris in Westfield Township, Medina County.
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor Victor KE8WVV Ethan in Manaway.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Echo 8 Victor Quebec X-Ray. KE8VQX Joe in Akron.
Okay, I'll acknowledge who I have so far. At the top of the list of the regular check-ins, I have WO3X John and KD8SLG Nick. We also have a KD8TNF Chris, KE8WVV Ethan, and KE8VQX Joe. And great check-ins, guys. It's very easy to understand, and that's the way you do it. So thank you for your excellent check-ins there. Do we have anyone else that would like to be a regular check-in to the net and take a stab at Eric's tantalizing trivia question? If so, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Sierra, John and Fairlawn.
Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra AA8CS Gary and Fairlawn.
Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Charlie Kilo KG4 SCK Mark Copley.
Okay, we've added a KE8ZHG, and I should know your name, and I can't remember it. So could you come back with your name, please?
W8WKY.
Your audio was a little low there. Did you say your name was Clark? Well, I still didn't catch it, but we'll catch it again when we come back to you for comments. We also have W2JLS John, Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra, Gary, and KT4SDK Mark. Do we have anyone else that would like to be a regular check-in to the Sarah Club Tuesday Night Net? If so, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Jerry, may I check in and out? My apologies for being late in here. WA8KOC. Have a great net.
Kilo 8 Papa Julie Whiskey K8PJW Philip Pittsburgh.
KSFQV. Evening, KSFQV.
WB8HHT, Brewster, Ohio. No traffic for the net. I'm on Echolink. Can't get in on the radio.
All right, we have added a WA8 KOC. Fred, thank you for checking in. I have you marked in and out. We also have a K8 PJW Philip, KC8 FQV Mark in Aurora, and a WB8 HHP also in and out. One last time before we go to Eric for the Eric for the trivia question. Please come now using your call sign and your name. All right, nothing heard. So we got a good list of check-ins here. So let's go up to our master of trivia, W8ELM, Eric. Good evening, Eric. May we have your tantalizing trivia question, please?
W8WKY with KC8HDP at the helm. This is W8ELM, Whiskey 8 Echo Lima Mike. Tonight, many of you might realize, is the peak for the Geminid meteor shower, possibly the most active shower of the year. Majority of meteor showers are caused by the ice and dust particles cast off of a comet orbiting the sun as the Earth passes through the debris field. Your question tonight, however, the parent object of the Geminid meteor shower is A, Alpha, an Apollo-class asteroid, B, Bravo, debris from Saturn's D-ring, C, ash from Mars Olympus Mons volcano, or D, Oort cloud remnants from the formation of the solar system. Again, the parent object of the Geminid meteor shower is A, an Apollo-class asteroid, B, debris from Saturn's D-ring, C, ash from Mars Olympus Mons volcano, or D, Oort cloud, that's spelled O-O-R-T, Oort cloud remnants from the formation of the solar system. W8WKY from W8ELM.
Wow, another fantastic trivia question, Eric. Boy, that's a good one. I'm going to take net control privilege and not answer that question yet. So we're going to go to the top of the list with WO3X John. Good evening, John. Great to hear from you this evening. What do you have for the answer to Eric's trivia question, and what else do you have for us? And SLG Nick is on deck.
Yeah, good evening. This is WO3X. Let's see. I'm going to take D Delta for the trivia question. Over the weekend, I casually participated in the 10-meter contest, and I just did a single sideband. And let's see. And I was surprised that I didn't hear any nearby stations. I was getting Brazil and Costa Rica and Alaska and places like that. But the only 8th district call that I made a contact with was Chris in 8ACP. And I was his only 8th district contact. So the 10-meter band was really long over the weekend. So that was fun there. So with that, back to the net, W8WKY, this is WO3X.
Okay, John, I have your trivia question answer as Delta, and I'm glad you participated in the 10-meter contest over the weekend. Glad it was long, but it is kind of puzzling that you only made one Section 8 contact. But, hey, at least you made one. So that's awesome. I hope 10 meters is really open for Winter Field Day. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for your check-in, John. Appreciate you as always, and you take care. We're going to clear with John now, and we're going to go to Orville with KD8SLG. Nick, our trusty vice president. Good evening, Nick. Great to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what else do you have for us this week?
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Mr. Vice President, and all the other netizens here on the Sarah Club Net. Let's start with trivia. I am going to go with Delta as well. I made that decision before John did, just to say. And for the net, I'd just like to thank everybody who was at the Christmas party last week. It was an absolutely fabulous time. At least I had a really good time. I thought it went swimmingly, to say the least. Stefan's magic show was absolutely fabulous. Gary's wife, Joyce, picked out all of those decorations on the tables that most of the XYLs seem to scoop up when they want them, like they were waiting for them, which was fabulous. And Russ really impressed me with the choice of caterer and food. The food was fabulous, and it all went very well. And many thanks to Jason for doing the speech, because I just didn't have it in me. So there you go. And everybody who was there, it was a really good time. And that's all I got. KD8SLG, back to net control.
Oh, very good, Nick. I concur. The Christmas party was fantastic. Lots of great people there. We had a really good time. Stefan's magic show was wonderful. The food was really good, and the caterers did a really good job. So a good time was had by all. And the door prizes were top notch. Really, really nice. So I have your trivia question answer as Delta, Nick, and thank you for checking in with me. I really appreciate it. Good to hear from you. We're going to clear with Nick at KD8SLG now, and we're going to go to KD8TNF Chris. Good evening, Chris. Good to hear you on the net this evening. Don't get to talk to you very often anymore, but good to hear you here. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net? And Ethan, you are on deck.
Hi, Jerry. Good evening to you and the net. Well, I'll take choice E, Jimmy Hoffa's body. Actually, I can't hallucinate a plausible guess, so I'll just pass. Be interesting to hear what the answer is for the learned. And best to everybody for Christmas coming up. It sounds like your banquet went good. We are still over here tonight trying to get our tree put up. And that may happen up in the wee hours here, so Santa Claus can check all the boxes when it comes down the front door. So anyway, that's it. Oh, and I heard John in the 10-meter event on phone. Yeah, you're right. It was long, and it got longer. Hawaii, etc., coming in at around 8 o'clock at night, and that was really something. So, and the West Coasters were getting Asia, and I never heard a single Asia contact. So, and on my end, it was mostly CW and once or twice through the phone bands. Best to everybody, 7-3, KD8TNF.
All right, Chris, glad to hear you participated in the 10-meter contest as well. And it's good that you heard John at least anyway. And I have your trivia question answer as Echo, the location of Jimmy Hoffa's body. So Good answer there, Chris. Enjoy that one. Thanks for joining us on the net, and good to hear from you. So we're going to clear with Chris now, and we are going to go to KE8WVV, and that is Ethan. Good evening, Ethan. Thank you for checking in with us this evening. What do you think the answer to the tantalizing trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net? And Joe, you are on deck.
KE8WVV. Well, good evening to everyone out there on the net. I have no real clue. So all I will say, B, bravo for the trivia question. And let's see. Well, I am now not sitting in darkness. Pulled a couple lights out of the garage because we had 6 of them in there, and they were just kind of sitting there, not being used, and put them up in the basement here, and it's like daytime down here. It is nice and bright, and you can see. Got another one set up, the room across from me, through the wall here, and planning to get 2 more of them set up in the kitchen. Let's see, what else? Set up some Christmas lights. Got those put up, looking festive down here near the ham desk. And let's see, building some puzzles. Lots of puzzles. We've done a 500 piece and are in the middle of doing a 1,000 piece. So a lot of pieces, a lot of puzzle pieces, and yeah, I guess that's what we're doing here. I don't have anything else, so I'll go ahead and hand it back to Net. KE8WVV 73.
Well, very good, Ethan. I have your trivia question answer as bravo, and I'm glad you're not sitting in the dark anymore. That's cool. It's nice you have it nice and bright down there so you can see to work on those puzzles. It's fun to work on puzzles and enjoy that. And thank you for checking in with us this evening. Really appreciate it. We're going to clear with Ethan now, and we're going to go to KE8VQX Joe. Good evening, Joe. Good to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Eric's tantalizing trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net?
W8WKY, this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor Quebec X-Ray. Thanks, Jerry, for running the net. Good to hear you. I'm going to have to go with A Alpha for the question because I have no idea. That's the one that makes at least a little bit of sense to me. So anyway, I have no other traffic for the net, and thanks for running it. So this is KE8VQX, back to net control.
Well, once again, good to hear from you, Joe. I have your trivia question answer as Alpha, and it's really good to hear from you this evening. Thank you for checking in with me. You stay safe, and we'll catch up with you again soon, I'm sure. So we're going to clear with Joe now, and we're going to go to KE8ZHG. Good evening to you. Maybe you can tell me what your name is once again. Maybe I can hear you better this time. And what do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for us?
This is KE8ZHG, Doug and Martin. I'm going to go... Yeah, it's some Olympic bond volcano. I know it's probably a long time down the line, but it's not going to make a good guess. Yeah, I'm just saying that I moved out here from Seattle about a year, so I'm trying to find new things to take up all my spare time. So we went and got a couple new hens the other day. done with some farm over in Jamestown. Had a couple of, they're called Golden Bugs. They're about 5 months old. We got them for a little flock, and they're just the friendliest chickens. The guy had about 800 of them, and these things will, get out of your hand. And then I've been doing a little bit of wood carving, and so that's kind of a new hobby. And kind of, but 73 to everyone, and I'm going to the Christmas party last week. This is AAGHC.connect as well.
Well, good to hear from you, Doug. Your signal cut out when you gave the trivia question answer, so could you give me that one more time, please?
Sure, I'm going to go with number C, Electric Bond.
All right, thank you, Doug. I have your trivia question answer as C, and it sounds like you have an interesting hobby there, and it sounds like you got quite a collection with 800, so that's really cool. Good to hear from you, Doug. Thanks for checking in with me, and hope to hear you again on the air real soon. Well, we are going to clear with Doug now, and we're going to go to Fairlawn with W2 JLS John. And John, it was great to meet you at the Christmas party, and it was great sitting at the same table with you. Enjoyed that. What do you think the answer to Eric's trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net?
Gary from Shreve. This is W2JLS, and it was awesome getting to sit with you and catch up in the real world across the table instead of across the airwaves. That was kind of neat for sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's asking too much for the question to be reread. I kind of heard it. I didn't hear the choices, so I'll ask for that maybe. Back over.
Well, I think Eric would be happy to oblige you with reading the trivia question once again. So let's go to W8ELM Eric. Would you please reread the trivia question for us?
W8WKY.
W8WKY, W8ELM, I will be happy to. John, it was a pleasure and a privilege to sit with you at the Christmas party also. Tonight is the peak of the Geminid meteor shower, and it's usually pretty good showers. And we've got ideal conditions tonight, so I hope some of you will be able to get out. The peak is usually after midnight or around midnight. However, most meteor showers are the result of the debris shed by comets.
See something cool?
I do.
Stick around for this. This is cool. You know, we see new
through the orbit of the comet's debris field. However, the parent object of the Geminid meteor shower is A, an Apollo-class asteroid, B, debris from Saturn's D-ring, C, ash from Mars Olympus Mons volcano, or D, Oort cloud remnants from the formation of the solar system. W8ELM, back to net.
Well, thank you for rereading the question for us, Eric, and like I say, it is a terrific question. So, giving John a second here to think about that before I come back to him. And okay, there's a second. So, W2JLS John, what is your answer to the trivia question?
W2JLS returning. Yeah, awesome to have sat and met you, Eric, as well. And in true to form, this is an awesome question. I'm stuck between A and D. A is closer, the fourth rock from the sun and the stuff that's between here and there. The Oort cloud, is where, I mean, at least part of where I heard comets came from, and I'm accustomed to thinking of comets as being, as you said, the parents of these things. I'm going to go with A. I'm going out on a limb with A, because you seem to rule comets out with the question itself, and the other two choices don't make a lot of sense to me. I'll mention I saw the 1998 Leonids event, which kind of taught me what showers were all about. And that was not just a shower, it was a storm, literally hundreds of meteors per hour. It was insane. If you ever get the luxury of such a thing to happen to you, you'll never forget it. W2JLS, back to net.
Well, very good, John. I have your trivia question answer as Alpha. And, you're getting into thinking out there. Making some good points there. Great to hear from you, John. And like I say, it's great to meet you at the Christmas party. And thank you for checking in with me this week. Great to hear from you. So we're going to clear with W2JLS, John, now. And before we go to Geary, I'm way past 10 minutes here. Identify this as the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association weekly Tuesday night net. We meet here every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. on the W8WKY repeater. At net control this week is Jerry. That's Juliet Echo Romeo Romeo Yankee. My personal call sign is Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa. That's KC8HDP. Jerry from Shreve. And during this net, since I am net control, I'm using the club call of Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee. So with the formalities out of the way, let's go to our club president, the big cheese, Alpha Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra Custom Select, Gary. Good evening, Gary. Good to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the group this week?
Hello, Jerry and Sarah and friends. And if you don't fall into one of those categories, you should. Anyway, good to be here this evening. Only comment I have is I am pleased to understand that, let me just qualify this by saying most everyone had a fabulous time at the holiday/Christmas, whatever Nick used to say, but I am so happy that it worked out as well as it did. So I want to thank Russ, KD8VYT for just a great job of honestly just organizing the whole thing. He was fabulous, did a great job, got everything handled. And it apparently everybody had a fabulous time, and that is the most important thing. I am sorry I couldn't make it again. I wanted to be there, but I did have, and I'm telling you the truth, I did have a really good time just kind of meeting people as they arrived before I had to leave, which was about 6:30, I guess, when I left. But anyway, I am glad that all worked out, and I'm looking forward to next year, our club meeting, the third Thursday of January, whatever that might be. But that'll be coming up, and I'm looking forward to another year of Sarah just setting new benchmarks. The third Thursday in January is the 18th. The 18th of January. Wait for it. Here's the year, 2024. The roaring 20s are upon us. That's all I have with that. I'm just going to go with Alpha with the, I know it can't be Charlie because that's just not Eric's MO. It can't be. He's a tricky guy. Anyway, I'll go with Alpha. This is AA8CS 73all, and back to net.
Well, yeah, it's too bad you couldn't have stayed longer, but it was good to see you before you did leave. Yeah, I want to ditto the, thanks to Russ and Stefan and Nick and Jason and your YL and everyone who helped make it a success and everyone who came and showed up and had a great time with everyone else. So great deal. And Gary, I have your trivia question answer as Alpha, and thanks for being here on the net with us. Appreciate that. So we're going to clear with Gary now, and we're going to go to KG4 SCK Mark. And Mark, being net control, I didn't have to worry about stepping on you tonight. So it seems like we always check in very close to each other. But great to have you on the net this evening, Mark. What do you think the answer to the trivia question is? And what comments do you have for the group? And Philip, you're on deck.
W8WKY, this is KG4SCK. Yeah, Jerry, I thought the same thing when I was checking in. I was like, oh, I don't have to worry about Jerry tonight. I'm clear. So that's funny. I had a great time at the Christmas party. Even finally got to meet the trivia master himself. So that was way cool. Tonight, I fulfilled a special request and cooked up a batch of candied pecans for Stefan while listening to Nick and Lucy chat on the radio. So the pecans have a touch of QSO in them. To the question, staying away from C, as the president said. I recognize that distractor, Mars volcanoes. I fell for that once, Eric. Delta sounds really cool. The remnants of the solar system creation. But I'm going to go with John. I agree with John and a few others. Says debris from Saturn's ring. Alpha. Alpha's my answer. KG4SCK, thank you for running the net, Jerry. Back to you.
W8WKY.
Well, very good, Mark. Yeah, we both had the same thought. Guess great minds think alike sometimes. So, anyway, I have your trivia question answer as Alpha, and yeah, you really make some great candy nuts there. I remember those from the club picnic, and they were delicious. Great to have you on the net this evening, Mark. Thanks for joining us. We're going to clear with Mark now, and we're going to go to one of the K8 trio, K8 PJW Philip. Good evening, Philip. Good to have you on the net this evening. What do you think the answer to Eric's tantalizing trivia question is? And give us any comments you have. And FQV Mark is on deck.
W8WKY, K8PJW. Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to all the Sarah, I guess you call them, I don't know, and others listening in. Great to hear everyone. Thanks for doing the net, Jerry. You're doing a fabulous job. I'm going to go with Alpha. I have really no clue, but that makes almost the most sense to me. So I'm going to join the Alpha team. And so last week we were in Grand Rapids, and so hence I couldn't make the holiday party, which I really enjoy that party. But I was with my grandson, so I think that made up for it pretty well. We had a great time together, and he's really starting to learn new stuff. He can almost understand the words he's saying, and some of the things he's done are pretty intelligent. So I had a lot of fun with that. Anyway, hand it back to you, Jerry. This is KAPJW. Back to the net.
Well, great to have you on the net this evening, Mark. I think I missed your trivia question answer. So could you give me your trivia question answer once again? Okay, I thought that's what it was, and then I didn't write it down right away, and then I was questioning whether that was it or not. So thank you for repeating that. And yeah, sorry you missed the holiday party. It was fantastic, but you got to visit with your family, so that's awesome. And it sounds like your grandson's almost getting old enough for you to take him to a Grand Rapids Griffins game. That'd be a cool thing to do. I would enjoy that if I was your grandson. So anyway, great to have you on the net this evening, Phil. Thanks for checking in with me, and catch up with you on the air again soon, I'm sure. We're going to clear with Philip now, and we're going to go to Aurora Mark, KC8FQV. Mark, good to have you on the net this evening. It was good to see you at the Christmas party. What do you think the answer to Eric's trivia question is, and what comments do you have for the net?
All right, Gary. Well, you're way down there in Shreve. But I'm going to say, I'm going to just take Charlie. I'm going to try that. I don't know why. Other than I don't know anything really about what it is. So, yeah, it was good seeing everyone last Thursday. And other than that, yeah, basically my parties are done. I could go to one more. Northern Ohio. Not North, the other group over there on the west side. North, not North, Northern Ohio. Every radio. But yeah, the cough is still here. I wish it would leave. But not much else. A nice day out for considering this time of year. And it was good traveling on Saturday out to Sandusky and came back to the Cars group for their holiday wagon wheel. That was good. Caught a meeting online while I was driving back. So everything worked out. So we'll send it back to net. The only thing ain't working out is getting rid of the cough or whatever it is. So back to net control, KCFTV.
Well, very good, Mark. I have your trivia question answer as Charlie. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Someone's going to get it right because every answer has been picked. So good to hear from you, Mark. Glad you enjoyed the Christmas party. It looked nice outside today, but that wind was really cool. So if you kind of needed a heavy coat, even though it was in the 40s, the wind just made it uncomfortable. But good to hear from you, Mark. Thanks for joining us on the net, and we'll catch up with you again soon, probably tomorrow evening on a net. Well, that is the bottom of the list I have. Let's throw open the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association weekly Tuesday night club net for more check-ins. So if you would like to check into the net, please come now using your call sign and your name.
Whiskey Bravo 4 Alpha India Zulu WB4AIZ Chuck in Florida on the Echolink.
N8LTR Bill in green on RF the way it should be.
Well, very good. We have added WB4AIZ Chuck and N8LTR Bill on RF, the way it should be. Okay, do either of you, well, let's see, let's go to WB4AIZ Chuck. Good to have you on the net this evening. Thanks for checking in with me from Florida. Do you need the trivia question reread? If not, what is your answer for the trivia question, and what comments do you have for the net?
No, I just tuned in, so I didn't hear the trivia question. But I see they're making, I saw today on Facebook, Lego, they have a kit for a Lego ham radio station, a small miniature, of course, but antenna and HF rig and whatever, and keyboard, and really pretty. And then I saw another one that had different phases of ham radio, such as de-expeditions and ham fests and DX stations, and really involved. And so it was pretty cool. Anyways, I'll turn it back to you. We're rebounding after some cool weather. Back to that control, WB4AZ.
Well, a Lego ham station, that does sound pretty cool, and it sounds like they got pretty detailed with it. So that's awesome. Maybe that'll stir some interest in amateur radio, and who knows, maybe in the next Lego movie they'll have one of the characters as a ham radio operator. That'd be awesome. Well, for Chuck and Bill, we'll go to Eric one more time and see if he would grace us with the tantalizing trivia question one more time before we get the answer. WADLM, Eric, would you please reread the trivia question one more time?
Tonight is the peak of the Geminid meteor shower, possibly the most active shower of the year. The majority of showers are caused by the ice and dust particles cast off of a comet orbiting the sun as the Earth passes through the debris field. However, the parent object of the Geminid meteor shower is A, an Apollo-class asteroid, B, debris from Saturn's D ring, C, ash from Mars Olympus Mons volcano, D, Oort cloud remnants from the formation of the solar system. Again, A, alpha, an Apollo-class asteroid, B, debris from Saturn's D ring, C, ash from Mars Olympus Mons volcano, or D, delta, Oort cloud remnants from the formation of the solar system. This is WADLM, back to net.
Well, thank you for rereading the question once again, Eric. Let's go back to WB4AIZ. Chuck, do you have a guess for the trivia question?
Well, WB4AIZ, I'm going to go with A. I don't know, but I think that is an actual meteor, meteor shower or whatever. I'm going to go with A. Just, it was either that or the other one, D. But I'm going to go with A. Over, B4AIZ.
Okay, very good, Chuck. I have your trivia question answer as alpha, and thank you once again for checking in with us on the net. Okay, let's now go to N8LTR Bill on RF the way it should be. Good evening, Bill. Thanks for checking in with me. Do you have an answer for Eric's trivia question, and what comments do you have for the net?
Oh, good evening to the net. Boy, that's an Eric question. It's got Eric written all over it, and as usual, it's out of my field of study. So I'm going to apply Shorter's postulate and try C. Other than that, I have back on my bedside ham station here. I was been working in the ham shack all night until I came in and heard the radio chirping in this room and got everything gutted out in there, moving things, and that's like dominoes. You ever seen the
the example of a chain reaction using dominoes. The same thing happens when you get in a ham shack and decide you're going to start to move equipment. Pretty soon, this one hits that one hits that one, and the next thing, you have a massive pile of stuff on the floor, wires everywhere, God amounts of dirt back in there that you don't know how got in there, and several days more work on your hands. So that's where I am tonight. Anywho, everyone have a good week ahead. NALTR back to net.
Well, Bill, did you get yourself into a situation? Oh, man, rearranging the ham shack. Oh, well, good luck with that. Have your trivia question answer as Charlie, and thank you once again for checking in with us. Good to hear from you. Well, Eric, I'm just going to go give Delta a try for myself. So that's it for the trivia question. So let's go back to Eric at W8ELM and get the answer to the trivia question and the explanation. So, Eric, please take the net.
All right, thank you, Jerry. Well, the correct answer is E, Echo, Jimmy Hoffa's body. So Chris was the only... No, that's not right. Let's see. The correct answer was A, Alpha, an Apollo-class asteroid. And we had 4, 5, 6 correct answers. KE8VQX, Joe, W2JLS, John, AA8CS, Gary, KG4SCK, Mark, K8PJW, Phil, and WB4AIZ down in Florida. Those Floridians are smart people down there. So thank you, everybody, for participating tonight. And just by way of explanation, the asteroid 3200 Phaeton is almost certainly the parent body responsible for the Geminid meteor shower. In addition to being an Apollo-class asteroid, it is classified as an Earth crosser, an Earth-crossing asteroid, a potentially hazardous asteroid, and a so-called rock comet. The colorful streaks of the fireballs from the Geminids often display smoke-like trails that may persist for several seconds. It's my favorite meteor shower after the Leonids meteor storm that I saw back in 1998 along with John. I had fog. Let me get some time here. I had fog up about to the middle of my chest when I was out viewing it, so I couldn't lie down or even sit down. So I just had to stand there and watch those hundreds of meteors. Every time you'd see a nice one in front of you, there'd be a bright flash behind you, and you knew you missed another good one there, but that was interesting. Okay, anyway, it's worth missing an hour or two of sleep tonight because we have ideal conditions. I think it's still clear. I haven't looked out recently, but hopefully it's still clear, and there's virtually no moon, so we won't have to worry about that. So if you can stand the loss of sleep, get out there and observe some of those Geminid meteors. Thank you, everybody, for participating. W8WKY, W8ELM.
Well, thank you for that trivia question, Eric. It was another fantastic question and real head scratcher. So very good. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who checked into the net this evening and participated. I know it's a busy time of year, that there's a lot going on. You have a lot of shopping to do and family get-togethers and things and family activities. And thank you for taking time out of your day to check in with me this evening. And hope you all have a very happy holiday season. If I don't hear you on the net next week, we had 28 check-ins this week, and we're going to close the net at 9:01 p.m. So for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association, this is Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP. Jerry from Shreve returning the repeater to regular amateur use. 7-3.
W8WKY.
Tango Charlie 0 Lima Romeo Mike testing. Does anyone have a copy? Anybody have the radio on?
W2JLS, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, thanks for coming back to me. I was trying to check into the net. This is KC0LRM Kelly down here in Tulsa. But I was having some audio issues, so maybe the next time the net's here I can make it in. All right, well, thanks for coming back. Y'all have a great day up there, all right? Thanks for the comeback.
You bet, anytime. Yeah, you sound fine. There was a fella in there earlier that sounded like he had a handheld and a boxing glove standing next to a radiation source, and somehow they made him out, but Jerry from Shreve's got better ears than I do. Anyway, check in next Tuesday night, W2JLS. Take care.
All right, W2JLS, you have a good evening, and KC0LRM is clear, and back to whatever else I need to do today. All right, y'all have a good one.
W8WKY. W8WKY.